Hello, fellow gamers, and welcome to my build in Space Engineers. Um, I'm just showing it off because I've actually run out of ideas, and I'm kind of hitting the creative Space Engineers version of writer's block, which is I just don't know where to go from here. I mean, I have a plan in my head, but every time I try to put that down onto paper or into the game, as it happens to be, I kind of just hit a roadblock, stumble around for a couple minutes, and then I just go do something else entirely, like play World of Warships or something. But I decided that I guess I just show off what I have so far, and maybe somebody out there can give me a suggestion. Alright, and so I guess here goes. So this is basically a planetary, military, scientific, secret based thing. It's loosely based off the French bunker line. I forget what its name is now, but it's a big old line of bunkers basically that protected the French, or tried to protect the French from another German invasion between World War One and World War Two, basically, which Germany just completely avoided by going around through, was it Belgium or Switzerland or something like that? I don't know. It's history, but it's kind of basically based off of that sort of theme, where you've got a bunker, you've got a massive hill, and the bunker contains basically everything that the troops inside need to survive: food, lodging, guns, ammunition, etc., etc. And basically I try to take that idea and apply it towards Space Engineers build, with the theme of that it's kind of just out on this planet doing research, secret stuff, stockpiling, manufacturing weapons and ammo and stuff like that. It is a multi-part build. There's another structure at the top of this plateau, which I will get up to eventually, and then eventually I'm also going to have like some sort of mining site and a couple outposts all around as well. And you can see those little outposts are these little towers off to the side, which we'll go through a little bit. So this is the main structure, and it's the primary entrance for ground-based vehicles, such as like the mining rigs, and for land scouts and stuff like that. Basically, it's just a big old ramp going up into these two big, massive doorways with a pair of guard towers on each side, and then the primary command tower and general living quarters is up there with a couple other little interesting, neat features. And it looks like, is that the shadow? That's just a shadow. Okay. So to start off with, there's these two little projections, one on each side of the ramp, and these are going to be for like weapons of some sort. The entire thing, the edges of it basically are covered with cover walls. So if you like get a gun and rifle, grab a basic rifle. So it's the idea is if you just had some guys out here standing guard, and any cyber hounds or other creatures that came along, or enemies that were trying to come up in here, just basically get blasted by a huge number of weapon emplacements and guards that would be out here. So this is the big ol' front door. Well, there's actually two front doors, and there's a little access door down there as well. And then coming up here, there's a walkway which connects the two guard towers, and also it goes up into the main structure through another, I guess they're safe doors or vault doors or something from a mod pack. There's a little hangar up here, and this is for like VIPs. When they want to bring in their own personal little fighters or shuttles, they'd fly into this hangar. This is the primary command room up here, and this is the office and meeting rooms up here for the senior staff and whatnot. And then this is the top view with an antenna and some walkways. So we will start off on the bottom, plop, and everything is mirrored, so I can basically just show off one side and that'll be the exact same on the other side. This is a little control tower for basically this garage area, I guess is the best way to describe it. There's a door here that leads off into a corridor that connects to those guard towers over there. And then these are the, I guess, the frontmost little garages for craft of some sort, or short-term storage or something. Basically something you can very quickly come into, easily access, and leave out of. Around the sides here, which is again mirrored, we have two things going on. We have a bottom and a top bay. The bottom bay is for more storage of vehicles or short-term cargoes, and it's 5 of these on each side. And then there's a hallway that goes that way, connects to the two garages in the front as well as the tower and the guard post. And the top bay here is more for something like drones or small reconnaissance or scout craft up here, and there's 5 on each side as well. Is there 5 on the bottom or 4 on the bottom? I should probably double check that because I think I just got that wrong. 1, 2, yeah, there's only 4 bays on the bottom, 5 on top, and the 5 on top are smaller. So then if we come back here, this is basically where I've stopped working on this level and I've started working on level below this. There's 2 elevators, 1 on each side, plus a cargo container that links down below, which isn't actually connected yet, but that goes 15 blocks down, and I'll get down there in a little bit. So if we go back in here and we take this little ramp up, and this is just a hallway that connects to the bays on each side, and it uses these nice little gates, large gates they're called. They're 3x2 and they're actually pretty much the perfect size for how I build. And what the hell is going on here? Let's fix this quickly. I have no idea why that is like that. Oh wait, yes I do. I'll come back and fix this later. This is supposed to be a little bit more decorated with the inverted corners and stuff like that. Alright, but let's continue going this way, and this is that door that goes back into the main entryway area. These little safe doors, I really like them. They do require an extra button, but they look really high security, which is kind of cool. So this is the double gate going into the tower, and the bottom level is basically empty. It's just a stairway going up. I'll add stuff in here eventually for decorations, like weapons, chairs, stuff like that. Then coming up here we have another stair going to the top, as well as 3 large gates with these balconies and the covers that overlook the sides and front. And of course all the trees are in the way. No matter how many times I blow them up or dig out their roots, they just always pop back up. I'm going to try to turn the foliage off, I guess, eventually. And then this is the one that looks over on the inside, so anybody coming up is going to get a withering array of just crossfire from the other tower, from up top, and from here, as well as from upstairs. So let's get up there as well. So this only has 1 door at the back of the tower, at the top. And if we come along over here, it's just a big armored structure that's going to have large turrets on the top of it eventually. And then back here we have more elevators acting as a extendable landing platform. I don't know why I made it extendable. It kind of just looks cooler. It kind of comes up. Makes it a lot easier to land when you just come in straight from like this way. You don't have to like go up and over this thing. This will raise up. You just land on it and it'll come back down. And it's just a random feature I added. Not sure why. And then you just come over this, I guess, catwalk area, which has more cover. And you can have guys patrolling up here, and they even get a little bit of shade if they want to, and to look out over the garage itself. And we'll go this way, and it's another safe door going up into the primary structure, which isn't actually finished yet, so I'm not going to show you that. It's basically a big empty space with lots of blocks everywhere. So then there's the other tower over here, same thing, landing platform. The tower itself, a little less ground clearance on the side because the hill I built it in. I didn't exactly plan this out when I was building it. I just kind of picked a spot in the mountains. I kind of just started digging into it. So we'll go over to that tower since it's closer. And to do that, we'll just bounce quite a bit. Stop bouncing, please. I forget how much bounce there is in this game. So we'll just go back in through here. Go this way. Go through this door here. Go through this door here, up the elevator. Both sides have an elevator, or 2 sometimes. I guess it depends on how far up it is. It's 2 elevators for this one. I should replace this with the other type of elevator. I kind of got lazy with the elevator making and just kind of went for the easiest thing I could do at that point, which was these, I think these are the personal glass elevators, maybe, I think. And then this just kind of winds up, and there's supposed to be some blocks there. Let's fix that. And up and up and up. And up and up and up. Should add more elevators to this. And it's just a little guard tower. It's got the 3 doors looking out over everything. It's nothing really that fancy. I might redo the towers eventually, but they're supposed to be like guard towers, so it's not that important at the moment. And then the other one, and I said the other one of these over there, as well as there's a third one up there, which, see if I can kind of get up a little bit to see, is right there. They're all the same. That one's not connected to any of the other structure yet, though. I have to do that eventually. So we'll go back down here, and we'll just fly through this, and we'll turn around, and we will fly up to this right here. So this is going to be the entrance to that little control room, which is very much empty at the moment until I do some mod packs with decorations for like control consoles and stuff. And this is actually one of my favorite features of this particular build. It's not practically efficient because I could just use the extra long modded hangar door things, but this is kind of cool. So for starters, let's engage those so it gives you a sense of what's actually going on. So I've used the regular sized, or they might be the 3 tall, I can't exactly tell. Are they 3 tall? Nope, they're just 2 tall. So the regular sized airlock hangar door things, I've used those kind of as like locking security bars for the blast doors here. So I can retract those, which does take a couple seconds longer than I would like it to do, but I don't really have any control over that. And then we can actually just close these big old blast doors, which took me a really long time to do because pistons are really freaking finicky. And it took a lot longer than I would have liked, but I like the end result where you just have these massive giant slabs of blast door closing up. And maybe I'll skip through this part, fast forward it in editing, but I'm not that skilled with editing. I'm using VDub or something, and this is basically the best I get for speed is the regular speed without screwing something up. But once these doors are closed, there's another set of locking pins that I can have pop out, and that prevents the door from like being completely blown off of its tiny little rotor hinges. I think it's just a really cool, interesting feature, I guess. Kind of just adds an extra layer of perceived security. Why didn't you go back? There we go. So I'm just going to open those back up. The lock's got to fall back in place, and I think I can open it right about now. Yep. Maybe. Hello. There it goes. Okay. It's a little ponderous, but it works. So we will head back down. Well, I guess I could go up. Let's just go up. That's easier that way. And we'll look at that in a second after we check this out. So, oops, that's part of that. Never mind. Sorry. Need to go up here. So this is the primary command center, basically. It's basically a hangar overlooking command center thing. You'd have a bunch of workers, a bunch of desks. They'd be doing their things like intel analysis and guiding in craft and whatnot. I'm not sure how exactly it's going to be decorated. It might be even too big of a space. I mean, from the theoretical RPG-ish sort of standpoint, there'd probably be 50 people working in here at any one time. Then it looks like it's 25. Yeah, it should be enough space. But you have the windows, and the windows, of course, have blast doors on them. In fact, all of the windows have a blast door on them, and if there's not one on the window, it's somewhere behind the window, cutting it off from the rest of the station, the base. So, yep, we will now head upstairs, which of course means the elevator's in the way. So these are just one of those elevators. The nice thing about these elevators is you don't actually have to have a square elevator. You can place blocks right on top of it and create like an octagonal sort of shape to it or something like that. Basically, you can make it a 1x1 elevator if you really want to, but for this one I chose to do slightly of a rounded shape. And let's take this up. Instead of flying up, I'm going to take the elevator because I'm a businessman and I take elevators a lot. So there's a window at the top of this with a blast door on top of or underneath it, I should say. And that one's easy to access if you really need to. And then it comes out into here, and this would be the little reception area. Probably have a secretary or two, one on each side. And then you just go right through here, and you'd have an office with its own skylight with blast doors and a front view with a blast door. And then there's 2 more offices. one on each side, and another one over there. And then on the side are these little meeting rooms, or maybe even bigger offices. I haven't quite decided. And you'll notice that there's no blast door on these windows because it's right here. Gotta have high security everything in this base. It's super secret and possibly illegal research. So then you can go out on the back through one of these doors on either side and come out here, have some fresh air, go up top, blah blah blah. Alright, so then let's fly over here, and here's a little detailing of the side I've done. I'm not quite happy with it, but it's the best I could figure out. I'm not very good at detailing. So then this is the little VIP hangar. So you come in here, the elevator would be raised up, which is hangar door, hangar cover, ship lift. So that just comes up to this level, you fly in it, lowers you down. And then there's the hangar door, and then there's a hangar cover as well for an extra layer of security because they're VIPs. They expect to, be secured. So basically, there's like little area back here which I kind of didn't know what to do with, so I made it into a little lookout. Don't know why. It's a security risk. Maybe I'll take that out and just make this into storage and tools and stuff like that. And there's 2 spaces for the VIPs. I guess they could also be spaces here, but these didn't feel quite big enough. So then both of these just exit in the back over here, and they come out back here into an unfinished space. Alright, so moving on, we will be going down, down, down into one of the side elevators into what is I refer to as the vault. And the vault is just a massive storage area. In fact, it's a third or so, or a quarter of the size of what I actually wanted, but my hand was starting to cramp up and the game kept crashing when I was working down here, so I eventually gave up on making it any bigger than this is currently. But it would be very easy to just go either right or left and expand it with more of these large storage bays. And there's just 12 of these on each side. And I mean, you could put vehicles in here, you could put materials in here, you could even put people in here if you really wanted to. I mean, I'm not a dictator, so that's not my thing, but there's a total of 24 of these large bays on this row. And then we'll head back. Oh yeah, I've also got like a ribbed ceiling for the vault look, which I kind of like. And then if we head back towards the elevators, there's little smaller bays with the cargo containers in them and their own little blast doors in each one. So like little miniature safes inside the vault, kind of like a safety deposit box inside a vault. And then these connectors aren't connected up yet to that storage upstairs, but there's also another cargo container behind this wall as well. And then there's 4 more of these large vaults on the back, and then we can go down into the sub-vault. And the sub-vault has 1 layer of protection up here, which is just some of these makeshift hangar doors turned into blast door type of things. And then if we pop down here through a 20 tall elevator, it takes a while, so I'm going to skip that elevator ride. We come down into the sub-vault, and this has a triple layer of doors, which kind of look really cool. But that's the best I could do with the doors, unfortunately. But it's 2 horizontal, 1 vertical layer. And we'll open that back up. It looks cool opening and closing. And this is basically just a smaller version of what is above this. So it's got 4 bays, 4 big bays, and then a couple of the little safety deposit box type little storage containers. And then the whole vaulted ceiling as well. Alright, so now we can head up and look at the second part of the build, which is on top of the plateau. And where is the elevators? There they are. So I've done quite a bit of tunneling. There's still a lot more to go into this build. There's more hangar bays, factories, living quarters, entertainment facilities, research laboratories. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff that is going to be going on inside this mountain. and it has taken a lot. Before I even realized that I could be mining with the warheads, I was just using the voxel hand tools, which took a lot longer and was a lot more frustrating to use. So you can see it's a bit cleaner around here than it is towards the front because I've started using explosive mining power. So let's head up here, and well, we've got a ways to go. It's 800 some meters or so to the top, give or take. Might be actually, oops, I hit the antenna. Yeah, I had to place some antennas down just so I could explosively mine things properly and access the remote control. So this is the bottom structure of the top structure on top of the plateau. And it is not finished either. There's a lot of work that has to be done. And it's not that impressive yet, but it's a cross-shaped landing hangar, basically. It's got the 4 bays, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then its overall shape, if we look at it from the top, is an octagon with 2 towers on each side. And it sits in the ground as well. And it looks like I have, that was just a CGI error. I guess I thought I saw a hole in the ground. And then everything is sloped upwards to make it more difficult for attackers to get up there from the ground if they're stupid enough to come near this, because it's going to be very heavily armed. I currently just have the vanilla turrets here as placeholders, and they're actually quite effective, but they'll eventually get replaced as well. So this is the top of it. It's got 2 layers of doors. Where did I put the control panel for that? There it is. So you've got a layer here for the top, which is again staggered, and then a second layer which is also staggered. And yet the staggers mesh up like teeth, basically, as you can see. But I thought that's just kind of a cool extra little security feature for the role plays. These are the little castles on top, which also have control rooms. So if we just come in here, there's little passageways off to the side for the guards to patrol along the edge with more covers, and there's even another ledge thing down there for them to get onto. I haven't set that up quite yet, though. So if we go in here, this is the exterior level that they come out of with the blast door. And if we go up the stairs in the back of the structure, this is the top of it, which is basically just another control point for incoming ships and for controlling security and the guns and stuff. And it's got windows off to each side. And this one actually isn't finished yet. I forgot to add a feature, which is over there, and we'll just fly over there quickly if I can remember how to key. So if we fly over here into this one quickly, there's a door that's actually back here and goes out to get a rear view of the place, and maybe just for the people to come and relax, have some coffee. Alright, let's go back downstairs. And then you can take either one of these stairs going down, and it connects into here, which has, I guess I did add the exterior exits for these for the bottom walkway, and this bottom walkway just loops around the entire thing with these safe vault doors. And then we can just go down here though, and this is part of the habitation level, which comprises of this level that I'm on and these 2 other levels you can see from here. So basically everything is exactly the same. It's all mirrored except for the windows on this side and that far side are not mirrored on that side or that side. It's got windows going up. This is actually 2 layers of window, and they all have the blast doors on them, which maybe has to be, how close do I have to be to get that? Pretty close to get those. And then these windows as well have the blast doors or hangar doors in them. Then we exit through here, and then this is just another view of the side without windows, and this hasn't been quite finished yet. I'm not sure what's going to be on this side. I mean, I've kind of run out of ideas what to fill this space and the opposite space on the other side with, but we can go down the stairs here, and this is the visitors level A or level B or 1 or 2 or something accommodations. And they just have these nice big rooms with blast doored windows, and anybody coming in a big ship to visit would be quartered up in these little rooms here, and they're basically all the same on both levels, except for the corner units on the end are a little bit more irregular because I kind of misjudged the space I was working in. And then they've got windows to look out of when they're just kind of doing their jog. It's probably pretty boring to be here while your ship's being inspected and whatnot and filled up with cargoes, or your VIP that you're flying over here is doing their thing. And of course the planets are invading everywhere, no matter what I do. Let's go down to the other level, which is again basically the same, which is just more of these rooms. And then these go out to the other sides, etc. And then from down here, it goes, oops, let me get down there. It goes into space that I haven't decided what to do yet. This will probably be, I don't know, something offices, control points for the hangars, living quarters for somebody. There's a block missing here. Oh no. I forgot I added these little catwalks for people to go up to and inspect the tops of ships without having to use like jetpacks. And of course there's a catwalk along the side as well. And then each of the hangars has a set of hangar doors on it. Beep, 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 and beep. That didn't work. Why did that work? Hangar 1 gate. No, well, we'll do it manually. Let's close those. So these are all staggered door designs, and they're all the same because I didn't want to make them any different for any reason. That work. Hangar 1 gate. Any of these opening? No, I guess not. That's interesting. I guess I have to redo the wiring on that. So that's how far I've gotten so far with this build. So there's the top landing hangar structure there. There's a lookout tower there, which is going to have a couple more brothers and sisters around the circumference of this plateau. And then there's the bottom castle structure down there with its 2 little towers. And then eventually there's going to be a mining site and a couple more little towers scattered around the valley on all sides. Well, if you've got any ideas, or hell, if you even want the file for this, just let me know, and hopefully I'll finish the project eventually. See you later.